Brother was telling about the life where priorities are entirely different. When we are born into this world, there are certain characters in us which helps us to defend ourselves. For example, when you are a small boy and you go to school and somebody takes your pen or somebody comes and hit you, you hit back, and we develop such defense mechanisms, and it is perfectly all right as for a worldly life. And but when we are born again, the old life becomes a hindrance for the life of God to be manifested. I was walking in Chennai, and there were a lot of shops, and in one shop, coconut was sold, which has got a flower inside. But when you see the coconut, all the outer shells are cracked and broken, and inside a new life is coming. So the outer hard shell, unless it is broken, the inner new life cannot come out, it cannot grow. We have coconuts which are in a house, and it lies as such. So in the same way, the hard cover in our natural man, like fighting for our own priorities, rights. As brother was telling, I have to take care of myself, because nobody else is there to take care of myself. I have to provide for my family. I have to do this, I have to do that. And all the time in our mind it goes, how I can protect me, how I can protect my family, how I can protect my career. And in the career, if I have to get a promotion, or if I have to be in the good books of my boss, how I should speak. So I speak in a nice words to my boss so that I can be in his good book, because I feel only I have to protect my job, otherwise I will lose, I will be jobless, and I have to develop so many things. All these things become enemies when we come to a new life. When we come to a new life, these things are hindrance to the life of Jesus to be manifested in our lives. That's why Jesus says, if a corn is not falling into the ground, it will remain alone. Life will not come out. But when it falls, it brings fruit, a new life comes. Or he says in John's Gospel, if a man loves his own life means old life which I have been brought up, or which I have inherited from Adam, where I want to defend me, I want to defend my children, I want to defend my family, I want to defend my name. That's why we want to justify, because we want to defend our name, because we are very much bothered that issue. My name should not be spoiled. Even in church or to brothers, somehow we want to justify. Sometimes we may not justify through our words. So sometimes we justify through our actions, and that's not very honest, and it is not what it should be. But there's slight change, because we want to justify, or we want to appear good before others, because we have always an insecurity that our life will be touched. So when somebody wants to touch, the hard shell comes and protects us. So jealousy, it is the hard shell, because why we are jealous of other brothers, because I am not growing like him, or he may do something for me, he may pull me down. So I develop jealousy, and becomes anger and bitterness, and all those things, as we heard, are to seek our own, and to protect our old life. So if a person wants to protect his own life, old life, he will lose it. He will lose the new life which Jesus came to give. But if I am willing to allow the outer coconut shell to be broken into as many pieces as possible, sometimes it is broken with the 2 pieces or 3 pieces, that is not matter. But the real thing is whether the new life is growing, whether the old shell which is protecting is a hindrance for the new life. That's why Jesus said, I am not going to defend myself. Jesus even did not want his disciples to defend him. He says, he gave them freedom. You all want to go? Yeah, you can go. And there is freedom. Jesus He's not dependent on his disciples whom he trained for 3.5 years, and he never wanted any thing back from them, because he knows that he has a life which is from heaven. He has a life which is imperishable. He has a life from the Father, and that was a very strong bond, and his whole security is in the life of the Father, the new life. And to that new life he is inviting us, where there is full security. And if all other people try to please the boss, and if they all fall cunning ways and tactics and all to come up, and no, we need not be bothered, because for them they have to protect their old life, because they don't have the new life. But you and I, we have a new life. And even if those people do something against to tarnish our image, or to do harm to us, and to plan evil for us, sometimes they may plan that we may not, our good works is not known to others. So many ways devil may think that if we tarnish this outer shell, he will be lost. But devil does not know about the new life which comes out through our relationship with the Heavenly Father. So the new life which comes, really, that's a purpose God has called us. As we heard, David said his priority was different. He was an Old Testament man. He doesn't know about the new life, but he had a simple heart. He thought always that God is big to him, and Lord, even if everybody leaves, Lord, you are me. That is sufficient. We read in the Psalm 73, Asaph is telling, who am I? Whom do I have in heaven but thee only? Lord, you are sufficient. The new life which you are giving me, that is sufficient. And that new life can grow and grow and grow only when we listen to our Master's voice, because his words are spirit and life. And that's why in John chapter 10, we read this verse, I have come that they may have life, and life more abundant. And in that verse, following verses and preceding verses, he talks about the sheep hearing my voice. So in our spiritual life, as we are beginning to walk with the Lord, even if we are not able to understand what Jesus is speaking, we have to listen. And when small child is born, doctor would be able to explain more in a better way. When a small child is born, you blindfold the eyes for 2 months or 3 months. After that, it will become permanently blind. And if a child is born, if you don't talk to the child, if the child is isolated, it will not develop the hearing ability. It is only through seeing. Initially, when the child opens eyes and sees, it is not able to recognize his mother or father, and only dim light, something light and dark. Then when the child, a few more months, it's able to see the fan, something rotating and all. Then after 3 months only, it is able to see the mother's face. Other faces are not very clear. But the child is not disgraced, because in the very first month, because the child is not able to see the mother's face or father's face, it is not taking a decision, I am not going to use my eyes at all, this is no good and all. No, it goes on practicing until it sees. All the nerves are connected to see, may give the ability to see the faces clearly and things clearly, different colors and all. Similarly, the sound. Initially, the child doesn't know anything. Mother says, do you want milk, or do you feel hungry, or do you want to go to sleep? So many things mother will keep on telling. Mother knows very well. Child cannot understand anything, but still mother speaks. But the child listens. Even if it is not able to understand, it listens. Some voice, mother's voice. First it identifies, it is my mother's voice. It's my dad's voice. Other voices, it's able to discern, but doesn't know the content. The same way, even in our own lives, Lord, speak to me, Lord. Speak to me, I want to listen to you, Lord. In this situation, what are you telling me? You may not get an answer. You may not immediately know, this is right, this is wrong, go this, take this course, take the other course, or do this, that, nothing. But Lord, I want to listen to you. And as we do this work of listening, and talking to God, we will develop that faculty of discerning things and identifying the Master's voice and the hireling's voice. And this is from God and this is not from God. I'll just share one incident and I will close. One of the brothers who is coming to the church, and he was sending a word. He is living in another small place, some 15 kilometers away, or 10 kilometers away. He sent a word that God has spoken to me that Brother Vincent should come and conduct a fasting prayer in my place. And the other brother is coming, and God told me this Friday I have to go. How will you respond? What is his voice? Is it the voice of a voice from God or not? How will you reply him? He is a new brother coming and committed his life and all. And he says, God spoke to me from Joel. you blow the trumpet and announce the day of fasting, and you call brother, and then how to tell him you should not get discouraged. How to? I was asking, Lord, please give me wisdom. Now the brother is coming and asking, why you didn't come, brother? God told me through me. Do you think God has not spoken to me? And he's telling all this thing. He says, I have heard God's voices many times, and God spoke to me, I obeyed, and this happened, that happened. Why you are not coming? I told him there's a verse in Isaiah 35, no? Every verse has got a pair. And when you search, the Spirit of God will unite. When you don't search, the Spirit of God will not unite. So it is our duty to search, and having a desire, and having a that attitude. Lord, let me search and find what this verse says, that verse says. So God gave me this verse. Every verse has got a pair. So if you feel that God has spoken to you, there should be another something in the Bible which to support your thing. So I told him, let us come to the New Testament. God asked Cornelius to call Peter to come and conduct a prayer. The same situation. Then what is happening there? God spoke to Peter also to go there and conduct prayer. Then it is very clear. Now it is only half. You say God has spoken to me, but He has not spoken to me to come and conduct the prayer. So like that, many people may say sometimes young people, one sister comes and says, and you like that pretty girl and pretty face, and she says, God spoke to me in my dream that I should marry you. What is going to be your answer? Some people have vision. They say, when I was praying, I had a clear vision about a wedding card where my name is there and your name is there. Are you going to say, no, that is not God, that's a devil? So we have to search the scriptures, see, and we have to, in these days, last days, devil is there to deceive people, and even those who are called and chosen. So we need to have very sharp ears and sharp eyes. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And we need to hear God. In Isaiah, we read many verses that we need to hear God speaking to us. And even in Jeremiah, when God is having a complaint against the people of Israel, that they are after the idols and they are going to be taken as captives, one complaint is telling is that I have been speaking to you and you are not listening. I have been speaking to you and not listening. So the way to grow in life is that to allow our outer shells to be broken, our defending ourselves, justifying ourselves, and trying to protect ourselves. And it is the spirit of an orphan. Orphan thinks, I don't have a dad, I don't have mom, I don't have anybody. I have to protect myself. I have to ascertain myself. All I have to do. But we are not orphans, as we read in Ephesians. We are having a heavenly Father, and He will defend us, and in His own time. Jesus, we read in the 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 22, when He was reviled, He did not revile him back. For everything, He did not threaten them. When He was reviled, He did not threaten them. Everything He handed over to the Father. So we have a Father, and we have a life, new life. People may not be able to see. People will see only the broken shells. They may not be able to see the new flower, new life which is growing inside. They may tell so many things that we are a failure, or we have taken a wrong decision, or we do not know, we are not really sure and all. But the life we have the assurance, and Heavenly Father is our security. As brother was telling, children and all others, they have to defend themselves. It is good that they have to go to Tanjore or other places because they have to care them. They don't have a Heavenly Father. But brother, as he was telling in his testimony, he had a Heavenly Father who plans and takes care of our children. So may God help us to have this new life and to grow in this new life. And everybody who receives a new life, the proof is that we'll have unity, we'll have fellowship, we'll walk in light, we'll hear His voice every time when we take a wrong decision. May God help us.